Hello, I am Edward. Everyone knows the shape on the horizon. Fewer know the hands that lifted it. So let me ask the question that refuses to stay quiet. Who really built the Great Pyramid of Giza? And how did they make the impossible feel routine? Start with this picture. Dawn over the plateau. A low wind crosses the desert. At the base of the pyramid site stands a planned workers' town. Straight streets, long galleries for sleeping, ovens for bread that could feed an army, breweries turning barley into daily rations. This is not a prison camp. It is an organized city of makers, measured to the stride, built to keep people healthy enough to do careful work day after day. Already the story shifts. But the reality is even more intriguing. Walk the cut stone near the quarries and you see ramps in the landscape, traces of causeways and scars where massive blocks once slid. Follow the line of those scars and you reach staging areas where teams lined up sledges and poured water on sand to quiet the grain. The trick was not brute force alone. It was friction tamed and timing mastered, pulled together, paused together, set together like a drumbeat made of stone. Who were these people in real life? They were farmers for part of the year, craftspeople all year, and specialists by training. When the flood covered the fields, hands moved to state projects and returned home when the waters fell. In the galleries you find beef and fish bones, fine bread, sweet onions, and copper tools repaired over and over. That menu does not belong to slaves starved into obedience. It belongs to a workforce that needed strength and skill to hit a tolerance as thin as a thumbnail. Here is a clue almost no one expects. Inside hidden chambers above the grand gallery, there is rough red writing on the stone. Team marks, crew names, praise for a king. No tourist letters carved for show, but work notes left by builders who never thought strangers would read them. They call the monument the Horizon of Khufu. If you want a signature, that is as close as ancient builders ever gave. Still not convinced, listen to a voice from the docks. A simple log kept by a harbour official tells of boats loaded with fine limestone coming from far quarries, moving along canals and up a purpose-built port toward the plateau. Day by day, page by page, the notes follow crews as they deliver casing blocks to the work front. It is not a legend, it is logistics, written like a diary. Let us break the day into motions. At the quarries, masons score and snapstone with copper and dolerite, then dress faces flat enough to kiss. Overseers check angles with cords and plumb lines. Teams haul along prepared paths, rest under shade cloth, drink their ration, then join a queue where foremen sing a cadence. On the pyramid face, setters take the weight, slide the block into its bed with pebbles and levers, tap it home, check the line and signal clear. Repeat the beat, thousands of times, weeks turning into seasons. The miracle is not force, it is choreography. But what about the precise north-south, east-west alignment? That is the part that still stops even modern engineers. The answer hides in the sky. Surveyors watched stars cross the meridian and used repeating sights to fix true directions. With sighting rods, measured baselines, and endless checking, they taught stone to listen to the heavens. Precision came from patience more than from secrets. Did they drag every block the whole height? Not likely. Evidence on the ground hints at stepwise systems and platform ramps that grew with the monument. As the body rose, the path rose with it, spiraling or switching, so that the last courses could be set without absurd slopes. When the shell neared its full height, white limestone from the river cliffs wrapped the core in a smooth skin that flashed like sunlight itself. Who led all this? Not a single genius with a magic plan, but a bureaucracy of scribes, quartermasters, and foremen who could move food, water, tools, and people with clockwork reliability. Their reward lies under the sand around the site. Stone mastabas for overseers, simple graves for workers marked with care. A nation that buries its makers near the work declares what it values. So who really built the Great Pyramid of Giza? Skilled Egyptians who treated building like farming the sky. They measured the land, listened to stars, and turned teams into instruments. They ate well enough to hold a chisel steady. They wrote their pride in chalk where only the stone would see. And they left a monument that is less a riddle than a record. A record of planning, nutrition, geometry, and endurance made visible in light and shadow every morning. Stay with me, because there is one last twist. The more we learn, the less the pyramid feels like a mystery, and the more it feels like a mirror. It reflects what a society can do when thousands of people aim their day at the same horizon and keep time together. The blocks are heavy, the idea is light. Walk with me through the workers' town once more. On one street, long rows of bakeries glow like kilns, turning out loaves big enough for a team. On another street, brewers draw the daily ration that keeps muscle working in the sun. In a shaded court, a coppersmith hammers a chisel edge bright again, dips it in water, and passes it back to a mason who knows exactly how many blows the edge will last. This is not guesswork. It is rhythm turned into infrastructure. Follow the rhythm to the quarry. A mason scores a seam with copper blades, then persuades the stone with dolerite hammers and wooden wedges. The block breaks on the line. A dressing team trues the face, so it will kiss its neighbor without complaint. Nearby, scribes keep tallies on pallets, marking teams, blocks, and rations. The truth behind this might surprise you. The most valuable tools on the plateau are not blades or sledges. They are lists, measures, and time. Now the haul. Teams set a sledge under the block, soak the sand ahead to quiet the grains, and pull to a song that keeps feet and hands in the same beat. At checkpoints, a foreman steps in, inspects for chips, and decides whether to turn left toward a staging area or right toward the face. Why the song? Because breath and effort align better to music than to barked orders, and stone forgives fewer mistakes than wood. But how did they raise the last courses? The answer likely mixes simple parts. A sequence of platforms grows with the monument so that the lift is many small steps rather than one impossible leap. Levers sneak a block up a course. A packed track brings the sledge to the next platform. A team waits to take the weight and repeat the move. No one action looks heroic. The hero is the sequence that never breaks. What about amazing accuracy? That begins long before the first block moves. Surveyors teach the ground to hold a line. They stretch cords over distances, sight stars as they cross the sky, and use repeating checks until the four sides listen to true directions. For level, they chase the horizon with water trenches and sight lines until the base lies so flat it can carry a mountain without a tilt. Precision is not a secret. It is patience paid in full. Then comes the skin. Boats glide in from the river cliffs with fine white limestone that takes a polish like light itself. Port crews roll the blocks to the causeway. Up on the flank, setters slide each stone into a bed trimmed with pebbles and plaster, then shave the seam until it nearly vanishes. When the casing closes, the monument turns into a mirror. Imagine sunrise catching that face. Imagine what the city saw every morning. Who cared for the people who did this work? We can still read the care in small things. Bone menders set broken limbs and sent workers back to lighter tasks. Graves near the site hold workers laid out with respect, sometimes with tools at their side. Overseers rest in stone mastebus, their names carved crisp enough to read. A project that neglects its people fades. This one planned for strength. There is more. In hidden places deep above the great passages, crews left red marks in rough script. The marks name teams and praise a king. They are not decoration. They are work notes that say we were here. This course belongs to our crew. This monument belongs to our horizon. In a dock record from far away, a clerk notes boatloads of fine limestone on their way to the site, moving along channels made for the job. Put these facts together and the fog thins. We begin to see faces. But the reality is even more intriguing. The pyramid does not just display geometry. It records a social machine. Flood season releases hands from fields. The state gathers those hands, feeds them, houses them, trains them, and sends them home when water falls. Crafts pass from master to apprentice. Knowledge grows like a wall, course by course, until it stands by itself. So who really built the Great Pyramid? Skilled Egyptians following a clear plan, guided by surveyors who spoke to stars, supplied by boatmen who read the river, supported by officials who could turn grain into wages and copper into edges. The design is brilliant, but the miracle is the ordinary done well for a very long time. Here is the twist I promised. Every time we trade mystery for method, the achievement gets larger, not smaller. A riddle is entertaining. Choreography at this scale is astonishing. The monument survives because its idea survives. Measure carefully. Train patiently. Align your work to something that does not move. Feed the team, fix the tool, check the line, then do it again tomorrow. Then do. Stand back with me at sunset. Shadows climb the courses like a tide. The air cools. The face holds the last light. Somewhere under our feet a crew once sang to keep the pull steady. Their names are gone, but their timing is still on the stone. That is who built it, and that is why it still answers the horizon every morning.